YouTube, hi, this is Byron Tyler. We're here in the studio with Danny Sinquefield. We just finished part one of a two-part interview I do for Pastors Forum. The radio show airs here on AM 640 and FM 100.7 Sundays at 12:45 and 7:15 p.m. And we're recording for some shows early in January here on this December morning. But we invite you to look behind the scenes and maybe see some bloopers. I'll probably be the one that messes up. But anyway, we're going to lay down some tracks for a second part interview that'll be airing later on the radio station, but we like to share some of this time with our YouTube followers. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and give us some likes and some comments. Thank you so much. We're going to continue with Brother Danny here. Thanks for watching. Okay. Well, we're back for this week's Pastors Forum. I'm Byron Tyler. Always a pleasure to get together with an area pastor to find out about their heartbeat for ministry, maybe something about them that they enjoy hobby-wise. I know that our pastor that we had last week likes to go hunting, and he had the experience of taking his wife on her first hunting trip as they enjoyed some time in a deer stand together. And Danny Sinquefield from Faith Baptist Church is back. Danny, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Byron. Always good to be with you.
Hey, I think you didn't have any luck in actually finding Bambi, or you didn't see Bambi, or there wasn't one big enough for dinner, or what?
Yeah, well, I couldn't take my eyes off my wife, so that was my excuse that day.
The deer was in the stand with you.
The deer was with me. That's right.
That's really
Yes,
what mattered.
That's my story.
Did anything funny happen? I mean, did she know how to shoot a gun?
You know what? She's done some shooting, but she'd never shot the deer rifle. So I gave her instructions, and we, went through the motions at the house before we left. But after the hunting was over, middle of the morning, she did shoot the rifle at some targets, and she was an excellent marksman. So we'll be ready for next season.
Okay, great. And there's something about spending time together, and not always. Sometimes husbands and wives have different hobbies.
Yes.
The husband might like to play golf, and the wife has no desire to play golf. And, she might tag along sometime just so she can watch him, play some golf or make a fool of himself on the golf course.
Right.
But it's so important that you find, don't you think it's important you find something as a couple that you can enjoy doing together?
Absolutely, Byron. One of the things that, we understand that we're in a season now as grandparents that we're going to be, hopefully, we're going to spend some more time together, more quality time together as the Lord wills in the next couple of decades or more. Our goal, we're about to hit 38 years of marriage. We're hoping to make 50, 60, so we're trying to think about what we can do together. Funny story quickly. We were watching a golf match about a year or so ago, and somewhere out of the blue, she said, I think if I had my own golf clubs, I'd like to go play golf with you. Well, I don't play golf that much, but this was like green light. This was golden.
Yeah.
So I ran right to the sports store, got her little lady set of golf clubs, and we've been trying to do that a little bit. And she's excellent. She's a good golfer. So she said, let's do golfing. Let's do hunting. Let's do things that we can do together. So, I guess I'll have to do some shopping and, whatever other things, Hallmark movies, maybe.
Yeah,
she loves those. So
yeah.
We'll compromise with Hallmark movies.
There's something about doing things together like that, and maybe it's kind of interesting how sometimes opposites attract.
Mm.
So, you might not have some of the similar interest in things, but there's things that you can do together. If it is grandkids, in our case,
Right.
we can spend some really quality time with those grandkids.
Yes,
and
sir.
I even enjoy just having dates with my granddaughter.
Mhm.
And my other one will be in that age where I can. She's only not even a year old yet. But my 5-year-old, soon to be 6-year-old, it's nice to go pick her up and just have some poppy latent
Yes.
dates.
Yes, that's a beautiful thing. And I'm jealous about the granddaughters, by the way, because my boys have only given me grandsons so far. But
Nothing wrong with those
we're
grandboys.
hopeful.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong
and
with
we love that. We love time with those guys. We love for them to spend the night with us, on the weekends, and they're all close by. So we're getting a wonderful investment. Someone said that, grandkids are God's do-over for what we didn't get right the first time around. So we're loving having time, quality time together as a husband and wife, as grandparents with our sons and their spouses, and particularly with the grandsons.
It's funny too with, things like candy that might be restricted at the home. For some reason that rule doesn't play over at the grandparents' house.
Yeah, we get in trouble. We get in trouble a lot.
I know we do. What is this?
The moms think that we should have those kind of rules too.
We kind of ended on a note last week as we concluded the part one of our interview, Danny, and you mentioned about ways as we look at 2019, that as you look at this new year and move into the new year, ways that Faith Baptist can advance the gospel in this community. And I know that, as you've been the pastor for 24 years now, the Faith Baptist is a church known for engaging the community.
Yeah, thank you, Byron. We're like you said, I'm in my 25th year, and honestly, I can say to you, to our people, to our listeners, that I've never been more excited about the team that we have around us. We have an incredible staff team that are very passionate about their calling, the mission that God's given to us, and God's hand of favor continues to bless us and just overwhelm us at how good He's been to us, allowing us to do things that we had only dreamed of before. Now we're able to actually see things come to fruition. Besides the local missions, man, we're sending out teams this year, 2019. We've got teams going literally all around the country. We have former faith members now that are serving on the mission field, and so that's very exciting to see. The growth and expansion of a little country church. We call Faith Baptist a little country church that's trying to reach the whole world with the gospel from Bartlett, Tennessee.
Now, Vance Pittman, of course, is pastoring now in Las Vegas. He used to pastor here in Memphis.
That's right.
I know you're friends with Vance.
Right.
Is that one of the churches you're helping to support?
You know what? We're partnering with one of the churches that he is planting.
Okay.
So, in fact, one of our young families, Michael and Micah Horner.
Yeah, and so I want to stop there for a second.
Yeah.
I don't think you know this, but when I used to teach Sunday school in the youth at Bellevue Baptist Church, Michael was in my Sunday school class.
Well, bless you.
And so we have a great relationship. He's been on this show,
Yes.
actually been on the Mid-South Viewpoint program in the past, and has shared his story, the journey God has taken him, which is an amazing story. That actual interview is on my YouTube channel. But to see what God is doing in Michael and Micah's life now in Vegas.
Yes, we're sending out teams again this year to be with them. We love Michael and Micah. In fact, Michael's parents are members of faith, so we've got strong ties and connections. We believe in them. We're encouraging folks to partner with them as much as possible. And it's amazing what God's doing with that young family.
You mentioned other ways. Now, a lot of times when you talk about missions, churches often will refer to things, maybe mission trips overseas, and those are very, needed, obviously. But I like the flavor of you talking about ministry here in the U.S.
Yes. Even particularly close to home, the Acts 1:8 strategy, the Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, ends of the earth, starts with your local community. And Byron, you know this. I was born and raised in Memphis. We moved away for a period. I was ministering down in Orlando, Florida, came back here in 1994 to pastor of faith. And I've fallen in love with Memphis again and anew. And this is a great city, great metro area. We've got great churches, great pastors. I'm friends with so many of the leaders in our community. And so I have a burden. I have a burden for the city. I think that, Memphis is one of those places that it wouldn't surprise me if God would spark a revival in our city that spread throughout our country. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing?
It would be awesome. I don't think a lot of folks realize the connection of ministries. As you mentioned that you work with other pastors in the community, there is some wonderful unity among African American in your congregation
Yes.
and different denominations. I mean, coming together in prayer, coming together because they really care about the people of Memphis.
Yes.
And that's so encouraging.
It is. I meet with a group of pastors every month for prayer over our city. We do that regularly. Every single month we meet for that purpose. In our town, in Bartlett, we have recently started doing some community services together. Fullview Missionary Baptist Church in Bartlett, Tennessee, have become, part of our family, so to speak, because at Christmas time, this past Christmas, we did a unified Christmas service celebration. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Combined choirs, and we'll do that again in the summer. We'll do that in August. We do that every year. Pastor Walter Peggs, long tenured pastor there, is my dear friend. And
you got to let me know when you do that, because
Yes.
I would like to get ahead of that. And both of you come on the show and let's talk about it
It's
and
a
promote
beautiful
that.
thing. So we talk about, maybe some of the racial tensions that exist in our city and our country. What if it started in Memphis? But we're thinking, what if it started in Bartlett and spread over to Memphis a little bit? So we're excited about that.
What was it about race issues that you were kind of oblivious to, blindsided to, until you started connecting with some of these pastors? Or had you always been on board and understood what some of those tensions were?
I grew up in the city, and so I was aware of a lot of the tensions from the past and the feelings, the strong feelings. And of course, Memphis being the place where Dr. King was assassinated has kind of got a cloud over our city, I think, in some ways. One of the things, though, that's helped me the most, Byron, honestly, as a pastor, is to lean into and listen to African American pastors and leaders and hear their perspective. One of the things that we hear, in fact, Bishop Ed Stevens at Golden Gate Cathedral, my friend, we meet with regularly. He said, the key to racial reconciliation is relationships. Just people getting to know each other, having dinner together in your home, spending time together. And so our people are attempting to do that more and more. And it's been a beautiful thing. You learn a lot when you listen.
Yeah. Do you have a routine for your Sunday mornings when what time does your alarm go off when you get ready to get up and start your day on a Sunday?
Sunday for me starts early in the afternoon on Saturday. I don't plan a lot of Saturday evening activities because I'm getting my heart, mind, soul ready for the day. Sunday morning starts very early for me, about 5 o'clock in the morning, so I can go look over sermon, have some quiet time, still my heart from the busy week prior. I get to the church a little bit early for a prayer meeting with some of our men who meet me in a prayer room. And then, of course, we have 2 morning worship services at 9:15 and then at 11 o'clock. And back again with meetings in the afternoon and a worship service again on Sunday nights at 6 o'clock. So it's a busy full day. And, by the end of the day, in fact, by the end of the second service, I need to go home, take a nap. I do a full-blown nap. I take about 2 hours. I shower again. I get ready to go back to church at 6.
Nothing like a Sunday afternoon nap. I'll tell you what.
It's a gift from God.
What about any other kind of traditions and things? I remember, I think, hearing Adrian Rogers share a story about R.G. Lee that on Sunday evenings, he liked to, I think it was a cucumber sandwich and a glass of milk. I think maybe, what was it? What kind of milk is it? Not skim milk, but some type of milk. He liked to have that in a cucumber sandwich.
That doesn't sound very attractive or appetizing to me at all. But I have taken my cues. One of my heroes in ministry is Dr. Adrian Rogers. Obviously, we served together in the same city, same area for a long time. And so one of the things that we've had the privilege of, some of his family members have become friends of mine. His dear wife, Miss Joyce, is a member of our church. His granddaughter, Angie Luce, is on our staff as our children's ministry director. So I get a little behind the scenes and, a little information about what Dr. Rogers used to do. And so Mrs. Rogers used to tell me that Sunday afternoons that Adrian would lay in the floor and take a nap on the floor. So I tried that, thought it maybe help me preach a little bit better. But
you had a sore back, didn't you?
It didn't play well with me. So you got to be yourself. That's the truth.
Be yourself. That's something that I think that we need to grab a hold of as believers, not just pastors, but all of us need to learn to be ourselves, tempered by the power of the Holy Spirit in submission to Him. What difference can we make in this world and being real with people?
Yeah. The key to authenticity, for the Christian life in general, particularly in ministry, is to find your own voice, to use the giftedness that God has, bestowed upon you. I tell our staff guys, hey, listen, you don't have to prove yourself. Just be yourself. Yeah. You are the best person on our team that you possibly can be, and you give everything you have to that. God has enough of the others. He just needs you. So I believe in that as well.
What makes for a prime staff member for you? What do you appreciate most about a quality staff person that works on the church staff with you?
Yeah, we have a little grid we use. We talk about their sense of calling. That they sense calling from the Lord. They love the church. They love our church. They want to be there. People that want to be there is a very important thing. Their character matters to us. Their sense of the chemistry that they bring to the team, the capacity that they have. Can they not only do their job, but can they do more than their job? So we're looking at those kinds of things for an excellent team member.
Okay, in February, you have a big event coming up for youth. You're bringing somebody in specially for this. Is this an area-wide event?
We do, yes. In fact, it is. It's something called the Ember Weekend, EMBER Weekend. It's February the 15th through the 17th. We have multiple churches involved. We're hosting it, but particularly several of the smaller area churches are buying into it. They're coming to be a part of it. We have a young man named Ben Trueblood, who's going to be the guest speaker. We have a praise band called the Desperation Church Band. Very exciting young people. And our student ministry team is very, very excited. Last year we had somewhere, I think, between 600 and 700 students who attended, and we're hoping to have a few more of that more this year. But if any of your listeners are interested, they can call our church office or look us up on the website at myfaithbaptist.org, get more information about the Ember Weekend, February 15th through 17th.
And Danny, what are service times at Faith Baptist?
Our service times are at 9:15 a.m. and 11 o'clock a.m., and then back at 6 p.m. Those are our Sunday worship services.
Danny Sinquefield, my dear friend, thank you for what you do for Christ's kingdom. Thank you for sharing with us on this program in these past 2 weeks.
Thank you, Byron. My privilege.
Friends, that's all the time we have on this week's Pastors Forum. Our guest has been Pastor Danny Sinquefield of Faith Baptist Church in Bartlett. Be in prayer for Brother Danny. Learn more about this ministry by going to the website as we shared. And we'll be back next week with another pastor. Thanks for joining us. I'm Byron Tyler. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.